Hey everyone, today is the day that I have been dreading. We are doing another declutter, and it is eyeshadow palettes, which is absolutely one of my favorite categories. So let's just dive into this. I make no guarantees on how well this is gonna go. So this guy right here, this came, oh, and by the way, I don't want to, if you guys see in the mirror, I'm precariously having this little tripod in between my legs. That's just how the setup is right now, okay? So this little three-piece came as part of this set that was online on Wander Beauty, and it's the perfect, I think, little three-piece, and I actually really like this, and I think the pant sizes are really nice, so I actually just got this recently, so I'm going to keep this. Something else I'm absolutely keeping, I just got this in my Boxy Premium when they did a Fenty takeover. So this is the Moroccan Spice Palette. This is brand new. I haven't gotten to use it yet, so I am definitely interested in keeping this one around. This one actually shouldn't be in here. This is one of the ColourPop Make Your Own palettes. So I did this with a couple blushes, highlighters, whatnot. So this is going to go in the face palette section. I will put that in so it goes for that declutter. All right, we have the Urban Decay Naked Basics. This is the perfect tiny little just abbreviated palette, and I think it's actually a really good one. It's very basic, yes, as the name indicates, but I like it. All right, this was from Jouer. This was part of the Metamorphosis collection, and it has all these beautiful butterflies in it, and honestly, I wasn't as impressed with this one as I thought I was going to be with some of the Jouer products. I've really been impressed. This one, it wasn't exactly the same for me, so I'm not sure exactly why it wasn't as magical as I thought it was going to be, but I'm also not going to get rid of it because it's fairly new and it was pretty expensive. All right, this is the Wander's Off Duty. I actually just did a full face of Wander Beauty yesterday. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it up here in the cards. This is probably one of my favorite small little palettes that they have, so I'm definitely keeping this one. I think it's just this perfect little 6-pan, and it comes with a mirror, so I like this one. I'm keeping it. This is the Naked Reloaded. I have the Naked somewhere else here, the original as well. I don't like this kind of like soft cover on it, but actually I do really like the palette itself, and it's been a really good palette to have. And actually I like that these, you know, on the outsides the pans are a little bit bigger because you use those colors a little bit more, so I thought that was smart of them, and I enjoy this palette, so I'm going to keep it. This is from IBY. This is the City Limits. I got this from a Gen Beauty or Ipsy event at the time, so I don't think I've ever even used this one. Honestly, I forget that I even have this, so I don't have any opinions on this, good or bad. I don't know if it's something I necessarily need to keep, so I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. If items are brand new, I may put them up on my Poshmark, so that might be something, or if they're slightly used, I might give them to a friend or family, so, and then if they're really old, I will trash them, so. All right, so this was the Palm Springs Dreams from Too Faced. This was recently put in a boxycharm, and I haven't gotten a chance to use this yet. This kind of gives me some of those peach vibes, and then I like this denim blue down here. So I actually haven't even used this yet, and I want to, so I'm going to keep this one. All right, this is the Tarte Pro Glow, or maybe you say Tartiste. I actually never really know how to say that. So this was a face palette, so maybe I should put this in with a face palette so I don't have to make any kind of decisions. Oops, shoot. Did you see that? I just kind of tore a chunk out of it with that protector thing. How ironic is that? Anyways, I will put that with the other face palettes. I've never even used that one yet. All right, make some room here on the table. This Wander's Seascape. Okay, I use this also in the full face of Wander Beauty, and I say as long as you know that you have to use your finger with this one, then I think you're good. If you think you're going to use a brush and it's going to be as good, you are incorrect. And I really like the champagne one, the sand dollar, and the seafoam has like this shift of green, which is actually really fun. So I actually like this palette a lot. I'm going to keep this one. Again, from Wander Beauty, I'm pretty sure this one came in possibly a boxycharm. This is the Rush palette, and so it's just another kind of like neutral, yes, with a couple pops of, you know, shimmer. I wish they had one lighter color in this one, but you're always going to find that color in like any other palette. But I actually like this palette a lot. I'm going to keep it too. I don't know how many I will even declutter. I swear to you, like face palettes and eye palettes are my weakness, and I know that about myself. I just do. This is also from Jouer. This is the Essential Jet Set. I got this when it was on sale in their kind of like clearance section, and to be honest, this was exactly what I wanted. It's kind of a just boring but good palette that you can take with you for traveling, and honestly, I don't have any complaints about this palette. Oop, there I am. There I am, hello. I don't have any complaints about this palette, so I'm gonna keep this one. So obviously I got this one in a boxycharm. This was, I believe, one of their first forays into their own makeup, and I haven't even tried this yet. There are some interesting colors in here. They're not all necessarily up my alley. This one reminds me a tiny bit of one of the colors in the Tarte palette, and I have to say, even though all of these aren't exactly up my alley, I'm still curious to see what that boxycharm formula is going to be like. So I'm going to hold on to this palette so I can try it. This is the Nudie Patootie, and this is from Laura Lee Los Angeles. This is the only face product or eye product that I've gotten from their company yet. I do want to try some others, and no, that's a lie. I have some smaller ones that I got in boxycharm. Okay, so this is the first palette that I purchased from Laura Lee Los Angeles. I got a couple more in boxycharm. I really like this palette. I think it was really, really good, and I don't have any complaints about this palette. You're going to see very much so that I am a boring, neutral, loving girl, and so this palette totally fit that bill. All right, this is one, I just got it from a boxycharm, and honestly, these colors are not up my alley, and I kind of know that about myself. These are way more colorful than I would usually tend to go, so it is something that I could totally let go of, and the truth is I have two of these palettes because I get two boxycharms, and so I have one that's absolutely in my giveaway or Poshmark pile, and then I have this one. I don't know if I'm just fooling myself into thinking I'm going to actually use this one, but I don't know. It's brand new, never touched. I could give it a shot. Maybe I should. I haven't tried anything from Cardi, so I don't know the quality of their shadows, and I can't speak to that. One thing I can speak to, though, Juvia's Place. I think their quality is so, so good, and I really, really enjoy their palettes. I wish sometimes they had a mirror in them, but this one is really beautiful. This is the Warrior 2, I believe. The Warrior, the original Warrior. And it's just a nice mix of, you know, browns and golds, and I think it's a really beautiful palette, so I'm gonna hold on to that one. And I have another from them. This is the Warrior 2, and this one is a little bit more of the oranges and blacks and stuff like that. This is an all matte palette, and it is a good palette. I don't use it a ton. I messed it up down here a little bit, but I do like the dark colors for eyeliner. I think those are really, really good. The rest of the colors, I don't usually gravitate towards the oranges and reds a lot, so really I'm only keeping it for these three down here and this guy up here, so that's only half of the palette really that I enjoy, so this could be a maybe. I do love the size of the pans. I think they're really, really good shadows. Alright, this was from Crown, again a boxycharm palette. And honestly, when I tried this one, it was okay, but I just wasn't that impressed with the pigmentation. And so I feel like this is one that I could get rid of. I don't feel any strong connection to this one like I do other palettes. So I think this one might be a declutter. Which is a shame because there are shades in here I've never even used. I've used this one very little, which makes me think maybe I should keep it, but I don't know. All right. So this is from Pure Cosmetics. This is the Buff collection. This, I swear, was kind of like just a direct dupe of the Naked, kind of the rose colored one. And honestly, these are not colors that I wear a lot. This was one of the first times I ever got a palette when I had just gotten into boxycharm, and we were so amazed at the time, being like, can't believe that you get a whole palette, which it's very true, but honestly, these colors really aren't in my wheelhouse. I never even used this brush, so maybe this is one that I could let go because it's several years old now as well. All right, this is from Dami Cosmetics. This was also in a boxycharm. I think that is where I get a ton of the palettes that come into my collection. So I feel like if I don't go in and declutter, then it's just gonna keep piling up, especially because I get two boxycharms some months. So this was the Sweater Weather, and I haven't played with this a lot, and I don't have enough of an opinion yet to know if I like this, but I'm gonna keep it. All right, this is the Rose Gold Eyeshadow Palette from Ulta. I think this is brand new. I've never even touched it. Yeah, I've never even opened it yet. And now I don't feel bad about getting rid of that one that I just got rid of because these are almost all the same colors, just from Ulta. So I will hold on to this. Some more boxycharms. These are Dose of Colors, and I've heard really good things about this Marvelous Mauves. And I know Samantha March really, really likes this one. This is brand new. I haven't touched it yet. And yeah, I'm excited to give this one a shot. And I don't know about the Sassy Siennas though, because I'm not super into oranges and browns, so I feel like this is something I could put up on my Poshmark. This is brand new, so I could put this one up on my Poshmark. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay. Okay, here's something I can let go. I don't know if a lot of people ever talk about Lorac anymore, but I think their eyeshadow palettes are really, the eyeshadow formula is really, really good. And this one right here, you can obviously see this was well loved. I hit pan on this shade so much. This was part of, they had like these that look like candy bars, and they came in like a collection. There were 4 of them like this, and I loved these. I thought they were so good. These are so old though, that these really, really have to be like thrown away, not just decluttered, but like thrown away. This one I didn't get on with as much because at the time I don't use like these icy blues and blues, but this was the white chocolate. So that one's going. Here we go, Satisfying Toffee Crunch. This one is the one that I hit pan on and I love, and you can tell it was like definitely well loved. But that was Toffee Crunch. I really like that one. Tantalizing Dark Chocolate. This one is all of those kind of like lovely browns, and this is something I would totally still rock today, but honestly this one, it's got to go. And then the last one in that one was the Tease Me Truffles, and this was like more of that purple one. And honestly, I really, really love these, but it's time to let them go. I wish that Lorac would make more of something like this, because these are the perfect amount of shadows. Like the pans are the perfect size. I love traveling with these. This was such a good series when they had this one. I love this one. I spy something else that I can get rid of. This is from Kat Von D. This is so old. This is older than those other ones. And it was just like a lovely pink purple kind of, it was just a perfect little quad. And honestly, it's kind of like gross and all covered. This was such a good one. And I don't even know what it's called, honestly. Is that right? The Art of Elysium? I'm not sure. But yeah, it's been several years since I've had this palette. It's gotta go. It's gross. But I used to really, really like it. Okay. I spy another one that I definitely cannot get rid of. This is the Blink Electric Eyes palette. This was the BoxyCharm palette as well. And these colors are in here. They're so good. They're so beautiful. So absolutely will not be getting rid of this. 2 brand new palettes that I just got in my BoxyCharm. Like I said, I get 2 BoxyCharms, so I got 2 of them. These are both from Zoeva. I've never tried anything from Zoeva before. This is the Opulence. And honestly, I don't know if these are colors that I would ever really wear, to be honest. I think I might be able to actually just not even try this one and just put it up on Poshmark. I think I'm okay with that. And there's also a Facebook group that you can join, which is like swap for BoxyCharm items. So if you got something and you were hoping to get something else, like I really wanted to get the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag palette, and I didn't. I got these palettes. So it could be something maybe someone would be willing to swap, so I should check that out. This is the Blink Infusion, and these colors totally are up my alley, and because I want to try this formula, I'm going to keep this guy. I've heard really good things about the formula, so I'm excited to try it. This is the original Carli Bybel from BH Cosmetics, and honestly, this was a really pretty palette at the time, but I have so many now that are kind of like this and that are newer. This is so many years old. I think I should let this go. Okay, this came from an Ipsy, and this is from Laura Sanchez. This is the Moods palette, and I have to say the packaging is really, really pretty, but honestly, these colors are just not colors that I ever see myself using. I've never used this palette, and I think it's something that I could probably let it go up on a Poshmark or a trade group and be okay with that. I know myself, and if I know I'm only going to use the palette once just to try a look, I just don't think it's worth it to do that and then not be able to give it to somebody else. So this was the Tetris Ipsy collection, and this was Block Party. They had 2 of them. This one I did try because I was trying out this silver, and I was not that impressed. These 2 colors, though, very basic, so I like both of those. This quad, honestly, I don't see myself using it. I really don't. And these, like the cream and the like a light brown, I can find that in any other palette, so I feel like I could probably let this palette go. And then this was the second one. This was Game On. So again, this one had a couple of neutrals and then kind of more not neutrals. So I feel like if I could take this color and this color, that color, and then a couple colors from the other palette, that would be better. You know what? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll try and see, because it's thick cardboard. Maybe I can take them out, the pans, and take this color, this color, this color, and those 2 other colors from the other one and make my own palette. So actually, I'm going to try that. All right, this one is from Buxom, and I don't have anything bad to say about this palette. I just haven't used it a lot, so I'll keep it. All right, this is from Tarte, and this is the Make Believe in Yourself. And I don't think I've even used this palette yet. And it has a lot of those kind of like festival light pastel-y colors that I've never used, but maybe I should. I don't know. What do you guys think? I wish you were here to tell me. I'm gonna try it. Okay, this one I really should let go, but it has nostalgic purposes. I got this because I wanted like a quick, easy face palette for when I was going on my honeymoon, so I picked this up and I thought it would be like really pretty because it had, you know, like one of their Amazonian clay blushes, and I was like, oh, these beautiful shades down here with this gold and this highlighter and these plums. I was like, this is the perfect palette. So it is kind of nostalgic to keep it because this is like part of the whole wedding preparations, but it's so old and I have a lot of these colors in other palettes. I feel like it's probably time, it's beyond time to let this one go, so I should. But I loved you. This is the Rainforest After Dark. All right, this was from NYX. This is the Love in Paris, and this is just a tiny little, I don't even know where, I'm sure I just picked it up at a drugstore one day. And honestly, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this one. I don't think it was like super duper pigmented, and I just thought that the packaging was really cute. But at the same time, like I really don't need. This is Merci beaucoup. I can't speak French, you guys. I'm sorry. Merci beaucoup, which is like thank you very much, I believe, in French. So I don't really have anything bad to say except for I don't use this, I don't reach for it, and it would probably be good for traveling, but I can let it go. All right, this is the Tardis Pro Remix. I got this one when I attended Julia Salvia's beauty dinner when I went to the last Ipsy event, and I haven't even used this palette yet. It's really heavy actually too. Some of these colors are definitely outside of my comfort zone, but it's a brand new palette. Oh, it smells nice too. So I feel like I should give this one a shot. Can you hear that? It's got like a texture on it too. It's kind of neat. So I will keep that one. It's heavy. Okay, so the truth is I bought this one only because of the packaging. I like the pineapple. What can I say? Truth be told, I don't think that the products that were in here, this was part of the holiday collection, I don't think that these were that bad. And I know it's surprising because a lot of the time the holiday collections are just not very good products. This I thought was actually pretty good, fairly decent for some of the face products. So I liked some of these eye colors. I wasn't as impressed with these face colors over here, but honestly, I'm just never going to get rid of this because I love the packaging too much. So it's a bummer that there's no flat bottom because there's no way to like stack this except for like laying down, or like you have to have something that holds it up, but I love it so much, even if it's obnoxious in its packaging. Also from Tarte, this is that Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette, and the truth is that the products inside of here were okay, but I mean, the packaging is just so different for them, and I'm never gonna get rid of this. I just can't bring myself to get rid of this. So it's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna hold on to it forever, even though I don't use it. Don't judge me, that's just what I'm gonna do. All right, this is the Tarte in Bloom, and honestly, it's just one of my favorite palettes. It's a super duper simple, natural, good, neutral palette. I have no complaints with this palette. I'm gonna keep it. I've traveled with this one a lot, and I like that this one, the mirror, can stand up like on its own hinge, like at whatever angle you need. So it's a really good one for traveling because a lot of the time when you're traveling, you don't have a great mirror situation, and this one never lets you down, and it's like super thin. So I like traveling with this one a lot. All right, this is the Wanderer's Chill. This was the second half to the other one, which was the Off Duty. And this one is like a little bit more cool toned, like purple grays, and I really like it. So I'm keeping it. This is from Shany, and honestly, I haven't even tried this one yet. So it's right up my alley too, and it looks like you could even possibly even take out these pans. Oh, and I just dug my finger in it. Dang it, man. Okay, well, I'm still keeping it. I will experiment later with taking out the pans. All right, this is the Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson collab. This is the Mini Controversy. And honestly, I just got caught up in the hype, and I know these colors, I'm not going to use them, but the piece is so interesting to me. This is like a little piece of art, and so I'm keeping it for that reason, even though I know I'm not gonna use it. I know that about myself, and yet I still won't part with it. That's just who I am. All right, this is the What's the Tea. You know what? I don't think a lot of people talk about the balm, and I don't know why. I think they make some really great products. I really like a lot of the products. This I haven't really tried out. I've tried one shade in this whole thing, and it was this one, which was Ooh La La, and I needed a brown. And that's pretty much it. And I haven't tried all these yet, and they have like these eyelid primers and this black eyelid primer to change the colors. So I have to try this one. It's pretty new to me. Actually, I think I paid extra to add this into a FabFitFun box. So this is actually pretty new to me. This also came in a boxycharm, and yeah, this is the Violet Voss Pro Eyeshadow, the Holy Grail. And this one I have used, and as much as I want to be like, oh, I don't think there's a lot of colors in here that I like, I end up using quite a lot of them. I do kind of avoid a lot of the reds in here, but all the like the browns and whatnot, like I like them a lot. So I'll hold on to it. It's a very heavy palette though. All right, and then we're gonna get into a few of the Anasazi ones. For a little while I was collecting them. I really like them, I enjoy them. This one honestly is probably my favorite. It's a soft glam. I can't travel with it because when I did travel with it, I shattered it here and here. But one of the colors that shattered was this sultry one, and I took it as a sign as I needed to purchase sultry. Honestly, I have to say that this is probably my favorite Anastasia palette. I love this palette so, so much. Something about it, it's just my favorite of all of them. So I will never get rid of this one. I'm not a fan of that crazy soft touch velvet, you know, because it does get dirty, but it's okay. The Sultry palette, it's so good. It is so good, and it's that perfect cool toned accompanied palette. It's just so good. It has that one pop of coral that makes it, you know, more interesting to some people, but it is just a beautiful, beautiful palette, and Cyborg is probably just one of the most beautiful silvers ever. So one thing about Anastasia palettes, there's a lot of repeat colors in a lot of the palettes, so if you collect a lot of the palettes, and it gets to be a little bit of a bummer, but it's okay. All right, this was the Kat Von D Shade and Light. This was like the original one that was just all mattes, and truthfully, it's a good palette, and I haven't used it a ton because I just forgot I have it. And truth is, now that she's not with the company anymore, and it's, you know, whatever they wanted to rename it, you know, I know some people feel some way about supporting the brand, but the truth is she's no longer part of it, and I've already spent this money, and I'm going to keep this palette. And vaccinate your kids, people. All right, this is the All About Roses from Essence. There's a lot of Essence products that I like. This, I don't think, is one of them. I just think that all of the shadows, they start to look really, really similar. There's not enough differentiation. I don't feel like there's true separation in these pans for like different colors. Okay, as I'm doing this though, now they're swatching really nicely. Man, maybe it's one of those where you really have to use your finger. Okay, that one's not the best. You have to use your finger instead of a brush, and maybe that was my problem because I didn't do that. But also, truth be told, now that I have that rose palette and I already got rid of that buff one, I don't need this palette. So it's good for traveling, but I can never get over that there never really truly seems to be a separated shade. So no, I'm gonna let this one go. This is the Jelly Pong Pong. Pretty sure this came in an Ipsy at the time. And it's the simplest little two-pan shimmer on both. But honestly, I don't know if I could get rid of it because both of these colors are so pretty. It's just like a special, special formula. I don't have any more clean fingers. And it's just beautiful. And I just forget that I have it. And it just feels like wet to the touch. I'm not getting rid of it. I really, really like it. All right, I know you've probably seen them sitting here, and I know they're controversial, and the truth is, I think everyone knows, they're not the best, and I haven't played around with them a lot, or hardly at all. I don't think I've touched this one at all. I've never touched this one, and the truth is, we all got caught up in the hype, you know, we were so excited, blah, 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 all this stuff. Doesn't excuse the fact that a lot of these are just not good, but I haven't tried any of them, so I feel like they should stay together as a set. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe that is stupid, and I should just get rid of all of them, but I feel like, no, I'm going to keep them for now. Even though I know I really shouldn't because I'm not using them, but it's okay. All right, so here we come in with a, ooh, Lorac. Okay, I got this one from Ipsy, the last Ipsy event that we went to, and this was in our bag, and honestly, I really need to use this more. I think I used it once. I tried it once, and I did swatch. And this is right up my alley. These are totally colors that I would use, and I like their formula, so I don't know what my problem is. My problem is I forgot that I had it, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to keep it. All right, obviously this is turned backwards. We'll turn it around here. This is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, one of the ones that started the craze and everything. This is a beautiful palette, honestly, and I'm not getting rid of it. Yeah, that's all there is to it. It still smells like peaches, so... Definitely when I got it, the smell was overwhelming, and I had to kind of like almost let it sit open and air out. Yeah, that was too much. This is the Modern Renaissance. I know everyone flips their lid for this one. It's the original, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I got it because I wanted to know what everyone was talking about, but the truth is, I only use like the browns. I never use any of like the reds and like the really deep colors like that. I really rarely use that orange, but I'm still going to keep it because I think it is a good palette, and there still are, if you kind of ignore a lot of the like purples and, you know, like the cranberry colors, it's a pretty neutral palette. So the original Chocolate Bar. I love this palette. I do. I really, really love this palette. And you know why? Because I love neutrals and a little tiny pop of color. And if it's going to be color, it's going to be purple. It's my favorite color. So I really like this palette too. This is the Urban Decay Naked, the original. I went out and bought it before they stopped manufacturing them because, you know, everyone was all scared. And I was like, I never got to try it. It was the one that started everything. I need to buy it. And then, of course, they did the Naked Reloaded, but it's okay. I feel like I was part of history with this. They got me, though. They totally got me. All right, this was the Naked 2. I got this from a friend who didn't like it, and honestly, I don't think I like it that much either, and I don't feel myself needing to keep it. I'm just thinking about that now. I mean, I have a lot of these colors and a lot of other palettes, so I don't feel the need to keep it, so I shouldn't feel this bad about, like, letting go of it, because I didn't even pay for this one. Someone else paid for it and then gave it to me, so... But I'm still having this hard feeling, being like, I can't get rid of it. So I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile for a minute, but I really should let it go. All right, I bought this from, I think Nordstrom Rack. Haven't even tried it yet. Honestly, I really, really should, because these colors right up my alley. I love neutrals, I love purples. There you go. This is the perfect palette for that. This is Smashbox. I don't feel like anybody talks about Smashbox very much, so I really should keep that and try it. This is the Carli Bybel Anasazi palette. I wasn't gonna buy this, and then I saw it basically on sale or clearance at Macy's, and it was like $20, and I was like, oh gosh, maybe I should do it. And I don't know, I feel like maybe I didn't need to do it, because at the end of the day, it's kind of a little bit boring of a palette, honestly. But I just got it literally this last month, so I'm gonna hold on to it now. But I kind of regret purchasing it. I don't know if I needed it. Well, I definitely didn't need it, but this is the Vina palette. I got this one because when it came out, it was one of the only ones that really had purple in it, and I'm in love with purple, so I had to get it. Even though really there's 3 purple shades in the whole palette, but I really, really love that. So I think it's a good palette, so I'm gonna hold on to it. All right, these palettes are from Tarte. I definitely got these from a boxycharm. Pretty darn sure all 3 of these from different boxycharms. So they're all, honestly, they look the same just about when you really open them up and start to think about the different colors, with the exception of this one, which is like the only darker one. They're all just like fairly neutral palettes, and honestly, I haven't used any of them, but that's not going to stop me from keeping all of them. I know, I can hear you, but I never promised a brutal declutter, and I said this is my favorite category, so I'm keeping all of them. All right, this is the Ace Beauté Grandiose palette. I got this in a boxycharm, of course, it's a common theme. Honestly, I wasn't that big of a fan of this. Not only are these, you know, colors that aren't really up my alley, I just wasn't that impressed with this one. I think I would keep, for these 3 colors, cinnamon, patchouli, and jasmine, and honestly, those are such boring colors that I can find them in other palettes. I think I could let this one go. This is the Violet Voss Essentials, also a boxycharm. Never used this palette before, and honestly, I don't know if I ever really feel the need to do it, except for that green. I don't really feel the need to try this palette, and I'm pretty sure I can find a green somewhere else. So I feel like I could probably put this one on Poshmark or put it in a giveaway. This is the Wondrous Fever. This is one of the first pieces of PR that Wander Beauty ever sent me. And even though I don't get PR from them anymore, this is still special to me. This is one of their first palettes that they had, you know, like all together. And the whole thing about them is kind of like beauty on the go. And I really liked this palette, even though a lot of these colors look very, very similar to each other. Not only that, but similar to colors that are in existing palettes now. But I'm still going to hold on to it for nostalgic purposes. These guys are from Rimmel, and I don't know how they ever found me, but they were kind enough to send me these palettes. And I haven't had a chance to try any of them yet. So I really should get around to that. This one kind of gives me vibes of like the Subculture palette almost. And this one has kind of that grungy feel to it. This one I don't really think I would ever use. So maybe this one is one that I could give away. If it's sent to me in PR, I wouldn't really feel comfortable selling that. So those are ones that I would put in a giveaway for. This one is actually a pretty neutral palette when you take out the blue. So you look at that one, it's pretty neutral. So this is definitely up my alley. I will keep this one. And then this is the Wow Edition. I don't know if I would really use these colors. Like this half maybe yes, this half not. So I'm going to put this one, I think, in a giveaway. All right. This one is from Jouer. This is the Ultra Foil. I bought this one when it was kind of in their clearance section. This is only shimmers, all foil colors. And these are really, really pretty and bright. I forget that I have them, and I forget to reach into a separate palette just for foils, but this is a really beautiful palette. This was from Tarte. This was also in a boxycharm. And this is like the perfect neutral palette, honestly, and it's good for traveling too. So I definitely am going to keep this one. Again, boxycharm. I've been with them for probably over 3 years now, so I've seen a lot of palettes come in from them. This one is from Pure, and I've tried it. I know I've tried it, but honestly, I don't remember ever being that impressed with it, so I feel like I could declutter this one. They're just not colors that I use. This was also from boxycharm. This is the Soiree Diaries, and this one is lots of browns, and honestly, I don't feel like I need this palette because I have that Lorac one now, which is pretty much all of these same colors, so I think I can let this one go too. Also boxycharm, Butter London. I never really knew that they were into makeup at all. I think I tried this once. I just wasn't that impressed with it, but I only have a first impression on this one, so I feel like I should probably give it another round before I toss it out. Also from Pure, this is the Festival palette. This came, again, in a boxycharm. And I heard really good things about some of these like foiled ones at the top and the glitter, and so I'm gonna have to give it a shot. I will definitely probably not ever use this hot pink though. I just know myself. This is the Urban Decay Born to Run. I actually really enjoyed this palette. I know some people, it may not have been their favorite. I really think it's really, really good. So I feel like it's got almost everything you need, except you need that one bright champagne inner corner highlight pop, and that's the only thing that's missing from that, and I wish they had done that and taken out one of these, you know, because for me, the pinks aren't really my favorite, so I wish that they had done that instead. Given us one champagne inner corner highlight, and then this would be a really, really, really good complete palette. Oh, I never really noticed this one's in Greece, and I have been there. That's awesome. All right, this is the Nude Beach. Honestly, these colors are right up my alley. I don't know why I don't use this one. I hardly ever use this, so I really need to. Probably just because I forget I have it, because I have all these other ones blocking the view. All right, also from Pure. This was actually part of the giveaway that I won from Madison Miller. These are totally modern Renaissance vibes, which are not my colors at all. I have never used this palette. I think I could give this one away. This is the Pixie Beauty with Whaley collab, and I actually just got her collab with Physicians Formula too, which is awesome, and she's collabing with all of these companies. But I really like this palette. The only thing I wish is that the packaging was thinner. I feel no reason why this case has to be as thick as it is, considering the shadows are way down here. But I really like this one. This is one of their first like 6-pan palettes that I ever remember really seeing from Pixie, because a lot of them you'll see, you know, are like a lot bigger. These are Huda Beauty palettes. I got these from Ipsy. These are perfect for traveling, and I really enjoy a lot of them, so I'm definitely keeping this one. This is the Smokey Obsessions. This is the Warm Brown Obsessions. They had a thing where Ipsy where you could pick an item, and then sometimes you could pay extra to add additional, and so when these came in, I think you could add it for like $12, so of course I did because it's a really good price for picking these up. So this one I've never used, but I want to, so that is Warm Browns. Like I said, also perfect for traveling. And then this is the Mauve Obsessions. And this one is a really pretty like foil color. So this one, more of these cranberries are not ones that I would usually typically reach for. So if I was to get rid of one of these, it would probably be this one. But because these are still fairly new to me, I'm gonna hold on to them. This is brand new from my last month's Ipsy. And this is the Day to Night Auto Balm, and I was trying to swatch these where they have a black primer, again, kind of like that sweet tea one where you swatch this and then you put this on top of it and it turns a slightly darker color. So it's interesting to me, but I don't know how often I would actually use that to shapeshift the color. So I will hold on to that one for now because it's too new to really know. These are from e.l.f. Everyone kept talking about these, and so I really wanted to see what the fuss is about. So I just got these. I need to try them out. This was two that were right up my alley, and this is the Cream and Sugar, and this is the Truffles. So you can see like these colors are kind of repeats, but I was still kind of thinking that these two, since they're only $3 a piece, it's a really pretty, you know, kind of palette, if you will, for $6. So I was willing to give it a shot. And because I was on there, and then I also saw a couple of things that were kind of in their clearance section, they had these, which were also only about $3 or $4. So this one is Golden Goddess, and this is Natural Matte, and I just ordered these, and I just got them in, so I'm willing to try them out. All right, this is the Dulce, and I think there's two of them. Yeah, I have two. Because I'd gotten one at Ipsy, and then gotten one as where you could kind of like pick whole bunch of colors. Well, this whole system is that you can pick a whole bunch of colors or sizes and stuff like that. So you can have highlighters and blushes and eyeshadows and stuff like that. I thought the qualities of these eyeshadows were really, really nice. And it was really cool that you could go and kind of pick out some of the colors that you wanted. So I don't really have any complaints about these. The only thing I would say is that I wish that the packaging wasn't kind of curved, because you can see, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's more like curved. So it's not a flat top, it's a curved top on that. So, but I do like those. Also brand new to me from BoxyCharm. This was the iconic London. And this is a really pretty palette. It's a really big palette though. Also gives me kind of reminiscent vibes of that Violet Voss one, but really pretty and very kind of like a neutral colored one. I don't think you'd really travel with this because you can see like how thick it is. So I don't think it's great for traveling, but still a really cute palette. All right, this is from Clio Cosmetics. And honestly, I haven't tried this one enough. I think when I did try it, I found like the only thing that was my complaint is that there wasn't enough color differentiation between all of the top and like these three middle ones. But I think it's meant to be more of like that, you know, Asian makeup where it's kind of more subtle. But I love the size of this and it's like perfect for traveling. All right, this is from Shany as well. Let me see here. I've never tried this that I remember. And there's a lot of golds in here and then like a lot of cool colors over here. I don't know if I'd actually really use these colors, to be honest. So maybe I would be okay letting this one go. All right, I have a couple of Morphe palettes here from, again, BoxyCharm. This in here. This one, and I even started trying to label some of them so I knew when I got them. This was 2019. I've never used this palette. This is the Night Master, and I can't recall ever really using or having opinions about this, but I should keep it for now. This one I did try. I think I liked it. It's more of those orange shadows, which I'm not usually typically into. And this was the, just this eyeshadow palette. Oh, Day Slayer, which is funny because I don't necessarily think these are just like perfect all day colors, but okay. So for now, I will keep those. Of course, I think you can spot this one. This is that Conspiracy palette. Everyone and their mom tried to purchase this. And to be truthful, I bought it because of the packaging. What's inside I haven't used much, and honestly, it's just like the other one. I don't think I probably will, but I'm gonna hold on to it just because. You can see the one color I did use was like the brown, the neutral brown. But it's a collector's item. What can we say, right? All right, here we go. These are what I'm talking about when it comes to like the holiday palettes where they're not as good as like regular makeup. This was probably no exception. This was from Too Faced, and I can let this one go. It's old now, and I didn't think it was that great to begin with. You can see, obviously, I didn't use some of these that much, so this one I can let go. These were named after drinks, so this was Peppermint Mocha. This one was Gingerbread Cookie. This one I used only because of like this dark color that I could use almost as like eyeshadow, and I don't think I used the bronzer much at all. But I'm gonna let that go. Eggnog Latte. And it's kind of the same thing. I didn't really use these, and I don't find myself being that sad if they're gone. So I'm gonna let that one go too. Here we go. This was from Bobbi Brown. So this was kind of a unique item at the time because it has these like gel eyeliners pots that are stored inside the palette themselves, and they had, I think, different colors, like maybe a purple or a brown or a black. So I thought that was interesting, and it had like, I should really find that, the little brush for the eyeliners, and then on the other side it had the brush for the eyeshadow. I don't think that the eyeshadows themselves were that bad either. I just forget that I have this palette. It's kind of a pretty neutral, boring palette, but again, those are up my alley. I wish I had a little bit more of a brown, because these colors are a little bit more cool, and I wish I had that like real champagne color. But this one, this is the Luxe Eye Edition Shadow and Longwear Gel Eyeliner Palette. So I'm gonna hold on to this for now because actually I like that product. Okay. So now we get into, this is the Real Her. I think I tried this a few times. I wasn't that impressed with it. I'm not saying they were bad, I'm just not that impressed with it. So I don't think I really need to keep this one, and I think I can let it go. This is from Alamar Cosmetics. I got this in a BoxyCharm, of course, and even though these aren't colors that I would typically gravitate towards, this one right here, the Celia, is a beautiful color, and even though I don't really use this, a couple of these are so pretty that I think I'll keep this palette. Okay, so the Pixie palettes themselves, this one was actually the one I was probably most excited for. This is the one that shattered when it came to me in, and that really, really bummed me out hard because some of these colors are very, very similar. And that one was like this beautiful, soft, kind of shimmery one, and I wanted that one the most. And of course, it was the one that broke. But I still think that this is a lovely palette, and this one is the Natural Beauty, so of course I like this one. The It's Judy Time, I also feel a kinship to her because she's kind of from my state and area. This one, I wish that there was a black, first of all, and I wish that there was a little bit more variety in color. It's not a bad palette, I just wish that some of the colors, like there was a wider range. Like I feel like they really just missed brown, like a light brown, really. And yeah, but I still like it. This one, I've never gotten to play with actually, and I forget that I have it. This is like all shimmers, and these are reflex lights, so I should play with that one. This one I think I can let go. I didn't really understand this one. It was like this cream cheek. I tried, but a lot of the colors just felt like they looked the same, and I didn't understand this one as much as others, so I feel like this one is probably one that I could definitely let go. This one is actually new to me, and this was the sent to me. Nope, this one came from the Ipsy last event that we just went to, and I really want to try this out more because I think used this one color once because I needed something kind of dark at the time. So this is the English Rose, so I'm going to hold on to that. This is the Dulce Candy. I didn't feel like this one had as much differentiation. I feel this is like a highlighter, an eyeshadow palette, but I wanted like that bright white champagne, right? And then like that dark brown. And I feel like I didn't really get that one. So I have to say, of the Pixie products I've tried, these two are probably the most disappointing. And I never really got that, but if I was going to keep one, I would keep this one, so I'll keep that one. This is the Nightingale Pretty Vulgar eyeshadow palette. I got this again in a boxycharm. This was one of those few that was kind of that cool toned color. This reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Naked, actually. Yeah, like a lot of these colors, like this one, and this like blue, and this black. And so I don't know if I feel the need to have to keep this Pretty Vulgar one when I have all those colors plus more in this Naked palette. Except it does have, you know, well, this one looks like this one. I say this is the only thing that's really different, to have like a true kind of like shimmery one here, and then this kind of like light color. So, but I think I can let this go. This was actually one of the first products that I tried from Pixie in the Chloe Morello, and the only thing that I wish that there had been like highlight, blush, bronzer, and instead of 3 blushes. But the truth is, all the blushes are really, really pretty, and then you can use like one of these over here as either an eyeshadow or a highlight. But I just wish that they had chosen one to really be like a bronzer, or, you know, like one full pan of like a highlight. I thought that would have been like really, really good. This mirror, even though like I made fun of it at the beginning, it actually came in really handy a lot of the time. And then this little quad down here, or this little trio down here, it was like eyebrow slash eyeshadow slash, and I actually found myself using this one a lot, and I kind of wish that there were half pans of these colors, and then there was an actual bronzer, and like I said, one less blush. But I have to say, most of everything that I've tried from here, very, very, very pretty. And even something like this, you can kind of swirl and mix the 2 colors together and make a really pretty highlight. So I guess the only thing I wish is that there was a bronzer in here. All right, moving on. This is the Gilded Desires, and I think I've used this one once, and it's supposed to be very, very like foiled and very, but I haven't used those colors. Those colors honestly sometimes scare me. I've used, you know, these 3 colors down here. So I really need to give this one a shot. I really like the Milani formulas as well, and you're gonna see that here in just a second. So Play by Me, I think it was a Clio palette, and honestly I haven't played with this one a lot, so I really should keep it around just so I can play with it more. I feel like the one time I did try it, I felt like maybe the colors, like these 2 colors, weren't very different from each other, but I really need to try it more. I really liked it. Has that same feel as that Tarte palette. So this is the Prism Multi-Palette 02 Play Memories. So these are the Milani palettes, and this one was the Pure Passion. I don't have anything bad to say about any of these palettes. They remind me of like kind of a Bobbi Brown Stila inside, and I think they're all really, really lovely. They perform really well, and they feel like high-end. This is the Most Loved Mattes. I think this is a great one. I just forget I have it. This is Bold Obsessions. Beautiful colors as well. Really, really beautiful. This was my favorite one, and of course, this one had a color as I traveled with it that it shattered too, but this is probably my favorite of all of their kind of pans like this. This absolutely, the Soft and Sultry, if you can still find this one is absolutely my favorite one. This is from It Cosmetics, and truth be told, this is just like super old, and this is really good for what it was. I wanted a bronzer and a blush and a highlight, and this gave me that, and I didn't have any huge complaints with it. But it's just years and years and years old, so it really has to go. All right. These are both boxycharm again. So this one, I don't think I've ever even tried. These colors are definitely not in my wheelhouse, but I'm not willing to let it go just yet. And then the Winky Lux. I really like some of the Winky Lux products, and I know I'm not going to use this one, but I'm not going to let it go. There is a palette that they have. I think it's like a coffee themed one, also by Winky Lux, that I really, really want to try out because, you know, everyone loves these size palettes. Like, they're great. ColourPop, you know, and everyone. So they're really, really good. These are from e.l.f. and these are little split pans, and honestly, these are really old. These were from a holiday set. I've never really felt the need to use them, so I can let them go. These are also from boxycharm here. And so this was like that purple kind of color. Even though as much as I say that I love those colors, I hardly ever wear them, but I love these palettes. And then this one is such a good one to travel with. And so honestly, I'm just gonna keep both for now. I know they're old, but they're so good. And then the last one is Neat Matchmaker. The thing I don't like about this, I mean, they did these split pans and I never really understood, do they really go together? I don't know. I was just so confused by this palette, but I like the balm, and so I feel like I really should give it a shot. But I'm not that inspired when I look at this palette, but I feel like it's too judgmental and quick of me to say that I don't know yet because I've never really given it a shot, so I am going to give it a shot. All right, these are the last few. If you've made it this far, you are the true MVP. I don't know how you did that because I don't know if I could. This is the Morphe. I don't even know what it is. Honestly, I don't think I've ever even used it, but these colors are boring, and I'm going to keep them because I've never even used this palette. So this is the 35W. Warm it up. Next. 35F. I'm going to keep it. I don't know why. I think it's just that whole thing. Everybody keeps a lot of the Morphe palettes because they're like, there's so many colors and you never know if you might need it, but then you forget you have it and you're just like, why am I keeping these? No, just me? All right. 35N, again, this is all mattes, all boring, all being kept. I disappoint myself too, guys. I disappoint myself too. Oh, this is MGS Beauty. I've used this one a lot. Actually, I like the variety of colors, and it's really, you know, it's a Morphe palette, or I can't even say that. It's a palette that they put their name on and they got from someplace else. It's the same as Morphe, so I'm gonna keep it. Okay, honestly, I bought a backup of this, and I'm not being dramatic because it's probably my favorite palette. I am predictable and I know myself, but I love this palette. The glitters are amazing. The colors are perfectly neutral and in line with what I like. There's nothing about this palette that I really don't like that much. So I guess I would say the sequins, they're so like subtle in the way that they look, but I kind of also like that. So honestly, I'm really excited to see what else she comes out with in this line because this is just volume 1. I really, really like it. It's probably in my top 5 palettes of all time. If you guys want a video, top 5 or 10 palettes of all time, let me know. This would also be there. The original Jaclyn Hill form. You know, we all had the thing where we taped our postcard with the colors. But honestly, this is such a good palette. It's traveled with me lots of places. It has lots of the colors that you want, except for maybe one more deep chocolate brown. It's just a really solid standout palette. And the only other thing is, if you wish you had like a yellow, like a true yellow. But honestly, this is just such a good palette. And then one last one I've never even opened. Honestly, I've never even used. I don't know why I keep this one. I think I remember at the time being like, oh, look how big those pan sizes are. If you start to look at it, like so many of the colors are so similar, but it doesn't stop us from buying it, does it? Nope, it doesn't, and keeping it. And this is the 24G Grand Glam. So I think that's it. So let me show you what we are decluttering. So we have these, which are all new, which could go up on either Poshmark, go into a giveaway or something like that. So that is 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have 27-ish palettes here, plus the 6 palettes that are going over there. So we've decluttered 33. Oh wait, there's a couple more of those Ipsy ones, and then we have to revisit the think again about it. So I think I can let this one go. I think this one could be added to the giveaway or something pile. This one I think could be given probably decluttered at this time. So what did we have? We had 33. Plus I'm going to take out the 3 colors from these and get rid of all the rest of them. So that's 2 more right there. So, all right, so we're going to get rid of 37 palettes, and I will put up on the screen out of how many. And you guys, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in another declutter very soon, because as with most people right now, we have more time on our hands to go through our makeup collections and clean them out. So there will be more coming very soon. So thanks for tuning in. If you like declutters, make sure you come back, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.